Hello, I'm Mike Adams of the California Historical Radio Society. You know us as CHRS. We are also the home of the Bay Area Radio Museum and Hall of Fame. It is my honor to welcome you to our holiday program, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. You are about to see what might be one of the very first Zoom radio adaptations of this holiday classic. You can watch it in two ways, eyes open or closed. If open is your choice, you will see and hear your favorite Bay Area radio personalities, some of whom will play several different roles. If you close your eyes and see it, it's radio. It's the theater of the mind, and you can watch this show anytime on the CHRS YouTube channel. Tonight's program is directed by Peter Finch, and our cast includes Sam Van Zandt, Hoyt Smith, Michael Bennett, Miranda Wilson, Rosie Allen, Elaine Leon, Ben Fong Torres, Elisa Clancy, Stan Bunger, Steve Cushman, and Terry McGovern. And our crew, our studio organist is John Hammond, sound design and editing by Dan Healy, producer-editor Steve Cushman. Our program begins after this message.
Ladies and gentlemen, and ships at sea. Hi there, I'm Terry McGovern, a very proud member of the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame, or as it's sometimes called, BARHOF. Not Bar Hop. That's a different group altogether. Well, BARHOF is part of the California Historical Radio Society, a nonprofit that was created back in 1974 to honor the great Bay Area radio stations and the men and women who make them so. And by the way, several Radio Hall of Famers will be in our production of A Christmas Carol tonight. Now, here's the pitch. The California Historical Radio Society operates a fantastic radio museum in Alameda. It's really an amazing place, filled with classic radios, you know, those amazing wireless contraptions that look like furniture, but were actually magical devices that transported folks to every corner of the earth. So if you enjoy our production of A Christmas Carol, and I know you will, then please do this. Would you make a donation to keep our radio museum open and thriving? Just go to, here's another website you're being sent to. It's a daily occurrence, I know. www.chrsradio.com. That's chrsradio.com. Hit the big red donate button, and remember, every tax-deductible donation helps big time. I promise you, your generosity will be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens.
The California Historical Radio Society presents Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, the tale of a miserly man who comes to realize the true spirit of Christmas. When this story first appeared over 175 years ago, few observed Christmas other than at church. Few employers gave workers off for the holiday, and the jolly country celebrations of England's past were largely forgotten in the cities. But this little story helped transform Christmas from a staid religious holiday into the joyous season of faith, feasting, and goodwill that it is to this very day. Dickens' ghost story of Christmas opens in an American town on a cold, snowy December 24th in the year 1949.
Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. Ebenezer Scrooge was a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, a hard-hearted miser. On this evening, the office of Scrooge and Marley was shrouded in cold, bleak, biting weather, but external heat and cold had little influence on Scrooge. No wind that blew was more bitter than he.
God bless you, merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember, God, our
Bah! Merry Christmas, humbug. Be gone, you miserable little beggars. Take your infernal Christmas carols and get away from my door.
Sorry, sir. Merry Christmas, though, sir.
Bah! And you, nephew, what right have you to be merry? You're poor enough. Merry Christmas. Bah! Humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure. What right have you to be dismal about Christmas? You're rich enough. Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be, Fred, when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled with his own pudding, ha! And buried with a stake of holly through his heart. Ha! Keep Christmas in your own way, nephew, and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it, Uncle.
Well, let me leave it alone then. Much good it may do you, much good it ever has done you.
But Christmas time is a good time, Uncle. And though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good. It will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
God bless Christmas. Hurrah.
You there, Bob Cratchit. Let me hear another sound from you, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. Now, return to those letters. Huh?
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Hey, don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us for Christmas tomorrow for dinner. Helen would love to meet you.
Helen? Oh, yes, your wife. Huh. Why did you get married, Fred?
Because I fell in love, Uncle.
Oh, God, because you fell in love with a woman as penniless as yourself. Fred, oh, good afternoon.
But you never visited before my marriage. I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you.
Yeah, very well. Good afternoon.
Oh, I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon. Mr. Cratchit, see my nephew out, please.
This way, Mr. Fred, and a Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Yeah, and to you and your family, Bob. How is Mrs. Cratchit and the little Cratchits, especially your youngest, the lame boy?
Tim, sir, Tiny Tim. He's getting better. Thank you for asking. Happy Christmas to you, sir. Two to see you, Mr.
Good day, sir. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley, my partner, has been dead these 7 years. In fact, he died 7 years ago this very night. I am Ebenezer Scrooge.
This festive season, Mr. Scrooge, we seek charity for the poor and destitute.
You see, many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Aren't there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law, are they still in full vigor then?
We're both very busy, sir.
Oh, I was afraid that something had stopped them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
Well, they scarcely furnish Christian cheer, Mr. Scrooge. A few of us wish to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We do so now because it is a time when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. So, what shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous, sir?
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the prisons and workhouses. They cost enough. Let those who are badly off go there.
Oh, but many can't go there.
Yes, many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Oh, I see. So the firm of Scrooge and Marley declines regard.
It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good evening, then.
Very well, you've made your views quite clear. Good evening to you, sir.
Mr. Scrooge, it's 7 o'clock, sir, and it is Christmas Eve.
So? Oh. I suppose you'll want all day off tomorrow, Mr. Cratchit?
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. You don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work?
'Tis but for once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December, but I suppose you must have the whole day. I'll be here all the earlier the next morning, Mr. Cratchit.
I will, sir. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, indeed. Bah!
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner at his usual melancholy tavern and walked home through the rolling fog and bitter cold. He silently passed the urchins crowded round fires in the street, trying to keep warm. The icy Scrooge trudged along through the dark streets, but just as he reached the door of his dismal house, he thought he heard something calling.
Ebenezer Scrooge! Ebenezer Scrooge!
It was the voice of his long-dead partner, Jacob Marley, whose ghostly face appeared on the door knocker. Scrooge hurried inside, closed the door, and locked himself in. He double-locked himself in. He checked the sitting room, bedroom, lumber room, all as they should be. Nobody under the table, nobody under the sofa, nobody under the bed, nobody in the closet. Secured against surprise, Scrooge put on his dressing gown and nightcap and sat down before the fire to take his gruel. When suddenly,
What is it? Every bell in the house must be ringing. What in the world? Nonsense. Humbug. It's all a humbug. Wait. What's that?
Whoa!
But the doors are locked. Double locked. Something is coming up the stairs. Closer. It's outside my door. It's a humbug. I won't believe it. It's
Scrooge! Ebenezer Scrooge!
How now? What do you want with me? Who are you?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley. You don't believe in me, Scrooge. Why do you doubt your senses?
A disorder of the stomach makes them cheap. You're not a ghost. You're just a bit of bad beef, a blot of mustard, a fragment of an underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. Humbug, I tell you. Mercy, I believe you, I must. Oh, dreadful apparition, why do you trouble me? Why do spirits walk the earth? Why come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men. And if that spirit does not go forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death, doomed to wander the world and witness what it cannot share. but might have shared, and turn to happiness. Oh!
You are better, Jacob. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life, link by link, yard by yard. I am chained by cash boxes, keys, padlocks, ledgers. Witness the weight and length of strong chain you bear yourself, Scrooge. It is a ponderous chain.
I see no chain.
You shall, on the day of your death, mark me. In life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole. Now I am doomed to wander without rest or peace. No regret can make amends for one's life opportunity misused.
But you are always a good man of business.
Business! Oh, mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. But it is at this time of the rolling year that I suffer most.
I'm sorry for you, Jacob. Is there anything I can do? Anything I can do?
Only it is too late. But I have come to warn you of a hope and chance of escaping my fate. You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Expect the first one tomorrow when the bell tolls 1. The second the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night at the last stroke of 12. Without their visit, you cannot hope to shun the path that I tread. Oh! Ebenezer, look out this window. That poor woman and her infant huddled on the step below. Look, that you may see for your own sake.
Ghosts, phantoms, hundreds, chained, just like yourself. They surround the woman, but they're not haunting her. They're bleeding. Can't she see them? Their anguish. Why do these ghosts lament, Jacob? Why do they wail?
They seek to aid her. They seek to do good in human matters, but have lost their power. Forever, they wail in increasing torture and remorse. Beware this cruel fate, Ebenezer. Beware. Beware. Beware.
Scrooge woke. He was lying on his bed, still in his robe. Was Marley's visit a dream or not? He decided it was a dream and nothing more. But suddenly, the curtains of his bed were drawn aside and Scrooge found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor who drew them. It was a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
Your past. I come for your welfare. Rise, Scrooge, and walk with me.
Well, I at the window, but I'm mortal and liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand upon your heart, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the wall and stood upon an open country road with fields on either hand. A little market town appeared in the distance with its bridge, its church, its winding river, and it was clear in a cold winter day with fresh snow upon the ground.
Do you recognize this place, Scrooge?
Good heaven! I was bred in this place. I was a boy here. Look! There's a coach going by. My schoolmates, Edward and John.
Hey, what a cheerful day.
They're on the Norfolk coach, taking them home for Christmas holiday. Hello, Johnny. Lord, it's me, Ebenezer.
Wait! These are but shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. Come.
It's my old schoolhouse. Alas, it wasn't a place of learning, more like a prison.
On Christmas Eve, the school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still. A lonely boy, reading beside a feeble fire. Do you know him?
Yes, I know it. I am that child alone. My only companions were my books, Alibaba, Robinson Crusoe. Oh, poor boy. Oh, I wish, but it's too late now.
What is the matter, Scrooge?
Oh, nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given him something, that's all.
Let us see another Christmas come.
Why, it's me, years later, but still away at this dismal school, alone on Christmas.
Ebenezer! Ebenezer!
It's Fan, my sister, my beloved Fan.
Dear, dear brother, I have come to bring you home. Yes, home. Home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. That home's like heaven. We're to be together all Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world. Come with me. Let's go, Abby. Let's go.
Your sister was always a delicate creature whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart. She died a woman, but had, as I think, children, no?
One child, my nephew Fred. Oh, how he does resemble his mother.
Come to another Christmas past celebration.
Fezziwig's warehouse. I apprenticed here. Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart, it's Fezziwig, alive again at one of his Christmas parties.
Oh, there, Ebenezer. Dick, no more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve. Join in the festivities. Merry Christmas all. Come and dance. Hilly ho. Hands out round and back again. Down the middle and up again. Round and round. Advance and retire. Old top couple bow and back. New top couple start off again. Advance and retire. Both hands to your partner. Bow and curtsy. Corkscrew. Thread the needle and back again to your place. Oh, well done, my friends. Well done.
Do you recognize yourself, Scrooge? A young man with a twinkle in your eye and a future before you. You're quite enjoying yourself.
Oh, it was a marvelous party, Spirit, with cake and punch and cold roasts and more, pies and plenty of beer. Look at old Fezziwig, how he dances. It's glorious. Oh, what a jolly time we used to have.
It was a small matter for old Fezziwig to make these silly folks so full of gratitude, hmm?
Small matter, small indeed.
He has spent only a few pounds of your mortal money, and look, it is so much that he deserves praise.
Isn't that at all, Spirit? Fezziwig has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toll. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune.
What? Is something bothering you, Scrooge?
No. I should like to say a word or two to my clerk, Bob Cratchit, just now.
Scrooge, my time grows short. Quick.
Ah, Belle, as beautiful as ever.
A penniless girl who loved you, Scrooge.
And I her. It didn't matter that she had no dowry. We were so happy together.
Until your career with Jacob Marley came between you. As you gained, so you lost. Do you see yourself, Scrooge? You're older now, a man in prime of life. Your face has begun to wear the signs of care and avarice. Your eyes are greedy, the eager, restless eyes of a miser.
Oh, no. Spare me this. not this spirit. Please, no.
Ugh, this music box is a beautiful gift, Ebenezer, but I realize I matter little to you, very little. To protect yourself from a hard and cruel world, you've become hard and cruel in response. I have tried to cheer and comfort you, but another idol has displaced me.
Dear Belle, what idol could ever replace you?
You now worship a golden idol. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one. Oh, Ebenezer, you've become another man.
I wanted security, success for you, Belle.
I seek tenderness, not riches. Therefore, even though it is Christmas, I release you from our engagement with a full heart for the love of him you once were.
Oh, Belle, no, don't.
Oh, dear Ebenezer, may you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Belle, no. Spirit, show me no more. Why do you torture me? Oh, remove me. I cannot bear it. Haunt me no longer.
We'll be back with our production of A Christmas Carol right after this.
Well, hello, folks. It's your friendly local announcer here. We sure hope you're enjoying tonight's performance of A Christmas Carol. Before we get back to mean old Scrooge and the rest of the gang, we have a favor to ask. When you sit down to give to charity this holiday season, we'd like to ask that you consider making a donation to the California Historical Radio Society. Times are tough. During the current national emergency, CHRS has been unable to host the events it usually holds to raise money. Therefore, a donation of any size would be mightily appreciated. Better yet, become a member of the California Historical Radio Society. It only costs $30 a year. To give, all you have to do is go to chrsradio.com and click on the red Donate button. That's chrsradio.com. Thanks, folks, and please enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome back to our presentation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Scrooge found himself once more alone, back upon his bed. He drifted off to sleep, only to be awakened again by the stroke of one. Scrooge gradually noticed a great blaze of ruddy light glowing from beneath the door. Something was in the outer room.
Come in, Scrooge. Come in, Ebenezer Scrooge.
He opened the door and beheld his own sitting room, transformed. The walls and ceiling were so hung with living green that it looked like a perfect grove. Around the blazing fire lay a feast of meats and fruits and seething bowls of punch. And there sat a jolly giant, glorious to see. He bore a glowing torch shaped like Plenty's horn and held it up high up to shed its light on Scrooge as he came peeping round the door.
Come in and know me better, for I am the ghost of Christmas present. You have never seen the like of me before. Come in!
Oh, Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, yet learnt a lesson which is working even now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Profit? Still, Scrooge? Well then, touch my robe.
And instantly they were transported to the streets of town. On a bright Christmas day, the shops bustling with jolly people completing their errands or returning from church, the grocers, the poultry and fruit shops, all were busy and all a delight. Presently, Scrooge and the spirit came to the center of town, to a humble house on a humble street.
This is the home of my Clark Frog Cratchit, his wife and 6 children. Why are we here, Spirit?
What has ever got your precious father then, and your brother Tiny Tim?
Here's Martha, Mother. Hurrah!
Sorry I'm late, Mother, we'd had a deal of work to finish up late last night and to clear away this morning.
Well, never mind. So long as you have come. Now sit down by the fire, my dear, and have something warm. Lord bless us.
Oh, Father's coming. Hide, Martha, hide. Father!
Ah, Peter, Belinda, Frederick, Harriet. Why, where's our Martha?
Oh, not coming.
Not coming? Not coming on Christmas Day?
Here I am. Happy Christmas, Father.
How did little tiny Tim behave at church, Bob?
As good as gold, Mother, and better. Eh, Tim?
They sang ever so nice, Mother. I hope the people saw me in church. Because I'm a cripple, it might be pleasant for them to remember on Christmas who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Mother.
Bless you, my son. See, Mother, his heart is strong and he will get better. I know it.
Oh, let's play the memory game. Let's play the memory game. Play the memory game with us, please. Oh, please.
Yes, and then we'll sing some songs. And I know, look.
Oh, smell that goose. Hooray, look. There was never such a goose, never.
All right, everybody sit down. Here you go. Take your turn now. There's plenty of bread and potatoes for all of you. Eat them first.
And later, plum pudding.
Mommy, plum pudding.
Oh, yeah.
Martha, dear, could you sit next to Tiny Tim and make sure he eats plenty? He must stay strong and well. If anything should happen.
Oh, Mother, don't even think that. I'll see that he eats well. Here, Tim. Mother.
Lovely day.
All right, quiet, please.
Oh.
Such a feast requires a Merry Christmas to us all. God bless us.
God bless us.
God bless.
God bless us.
God bless us all.
God bless us, everyone.
Oh, it's so good to have you all here.
Oh, Spirit, please tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat by the chimney and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Oh, no, kind Spirit. Say he will be spared, please.
Why? If he be like to die, he better do it and decrease the surplus population.
You use my own words against me.
Yes, perhaps in the future you will hold your tongue until you've discovered what the surplus population is and where it is. It may be that in the sight of heaven, you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child.
And now the punch, steaming hot. Take a turn, there's enough for a toast. And one after that.
A toast to Christmas.
Here, I would like to propose a toast to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast. To Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, the founder of the feast, indeed. No way. I wish I had Mr. Scrooge here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, it's Christmas Day.
Oh, I'll drink to his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt. Come, Ebenezer, to a gathering across town.
My nephew, Fred, his wife Helen, and their many hungry friends.
And then he said Christmas was a humbug, as I live. And he believed it, too.
More shame for him, Fred. I'm sure he is very rich. At least you always tell me so.
What of that, my dear wife? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it. But here, a toast. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever he is. He wouldn't take it from me, but he may have it just the same. To Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle
Scrooge!
Wow, Uncle Scrooge.
Come, Ebenezer. There's more to see. A man who keeps Christmas in their hearts. Come.
Much they saw, and far they went, and many homes they visited, but always with a happy end. The Spirit stood beside sick beds, and they were cheerful. On foreign lands, and they were close at home. By poverty, and it was rich. In almshouse, hospital, and jail, in misery's every refuge, the Spirit of Christmas left his blessing and taught Scrooge as he went. Presently they returned to the streets of town for the Spirit's final lesson, but the Spirit had aged.
My life upon this globe is very brief. My time with you, Ebenezer, is almost done. Have you gained by what I have shown you of the good in most men's hearts?
I don't know. How can I promise? Perhaps I'm too old to change.
If it is too hard a lesson to learn, then look upon me. Look here, under my robe.
What? Two frightful, hideous, miserable children. Yellow, mean, scowling spirits, are they? Are they yours?
They are man's. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware of them both and all their degree. For most of all, beware of this boy, for on his brow I see written which is doom, unless the writing be erased. Without the Spirit of Christmas to comfort them, narrow Puritanism and greed would release these wretched beings upon the world.
But Spirit, have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
And with that, the ghost of Christmas present dissolved into the mist, and Scrooge stood alone upon the street. As the last stroke of midnight rang, Scrooge remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley, and lifted his eyes and beheld the third spirit, a solemn phantom, shrouded in black, draped and hooded, coming like a mist along the ground, towards him.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You are about to show me shadows of the things that have not yet happened, but will happen? Spirit, will you not speak to me? Oh, ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I've seen, but as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time. To me, lead on. Spirit, once more we are at the home of Bob Cratchit, but is it different? So quiet. What is it, Spirit? What kind of Christmas day is this?
And he took a child and set him in the midst of them. None but those who are as humble as little children shall enter into heaven. Whosoever shall receive one such little boy, in my name receiveth me.
Oh, stop, Peter. Stop reading. Oh, my son, Tiny Tim.
Mother, please don't cry. Father will be home soon. Don't let him know that you've been crying.
He's late tonight, Martha. When he had Tiny Tim on his shoulder, he would walk very fast indeed. The child was light to carry, and Father loved him so. It was no trouble at all.
Here's Father now.
Sorry I'm late, Mother. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is, but you'll see it often. I promised Tim that we'd walk there on Sundays.
Oh, Bob.
Little child, my little child.
Oh, that's cruel, Spectre. Can't you give me some ray of hope that I may change all this? That Tiny Tim may live. Spirit, where are we now? Merciful heaven, a dismal, ruinous churchyard. Desolate, lonely, crumbling graves. Is it poor Tiny Tim buried here? Tell me, Spirit, are these the shadows of things that will be? Or are they the shadows of things that may be only? Spirit, that tombstone to which you point, what is written upon it? Wait! The name on the grave is Ebenezer Scrooge. Ah! Ebenezer Scrooge! No! Spirit, why show me this if I am past all hope? I am to become like Jacob Marley, like the other cursed ghost, chained, wandering the earth forever. No! Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. Tell me that I may change these dreadful shadows. I'll honor Christmas in my heart. I'll try and keep it all the year. I'll live in the past, the present, and the future, and not shout out the lessons they teach. I pray, please, Spirit, that I may sponge away the writing on this stone. I beg you, I'll change. I pray. I'll change. Please, I'll change. Why? What's this? My bedpost? I'm home. I'm in my own bed, in my own room. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and the Christmas time be praised for this. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I've been away among the spirits. I don't know anything. I am as light as a feather, as merry as a schoolboy, and as giddy as a drunken man. Oh, glorious light, fresh air. Ah, the window. Why, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year to you, sir.
Boy, what's today? What day is it, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
Oh, Christmas Day. I have not missed it. Oh, the spirits have done it all in one night.
And so they had done it, all in one night. Scrooge sent the boy to buy the prize turkey and have it delivered to the Cratchit family as an anonymous gift. Then the new Ebenezer Scrooge dressed himself all in his best and got out into the streets of town. By this time, people were pouring forth, and Scrooge regarded all with a delighted smile and hearty holiday greeting.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Christmas, sir!
Merry Christmas, sir! Merry Christmas, sir!
Christmas, sir! Merry Christmas!
By mere chance, Scrooge came upon the charity seekers he had dismissed yesterday, but today he apologized and made a large donation to their worthy cause, with many back payments included. He continued to the door of his nephew, Fred, who was in the midst of Christmas dinner with his wife and their many hungry friends.
Oh, Uncle Ebenezer? Why, I can't believe it's you. You're really here at my home on Christmas.
I come to beg your pardon, Fred, for the things I said about Christmas. That was a humbug.
Well, I don't know what to say. Do come in. Helen, look.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Well, may I present my wife, Helen?
Uncle Ebenezer, I never expected this of you.
Oh, Helen, so pleased to meet you, but can you forgive an old fool?
Oh, of course, Uncle, of course.
Oh, that's
Well, join the feast. Set another place at the table. Here, raise your glasses all, and I propose a toast. A toast to Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge!
Wow, Uncle Scrooge.
The next morning, Scrooge was early at the office. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late, that was the thing he had set his heart upon.
Mr. Cratchit? What do you mean by coming in at this time of day?
Oh, I am very sorry, sir. I am behind my time. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Bob Cratchit, I'll not stand this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I am about to raise your salary.
Oh, please, sir, you're going to raise my salary? But, sir.
Wait! No, Bob. I've not lost my senses. I've come to them. A Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas than I have given you for many a year. Yes, I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family. We will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop. Bob Cratchit, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
And Scrooge was better than his word. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old town had ever known. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became a second father. And it was always said that Ebenezer Scrooge knew how to keep Christmas well. May that be truly said of us, all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim sagely observed,
God bless us, everyone.
We'll be back with the final word right after this.
Hello, folks. It's your friendly local announcer again. We hope you've enjoyed this performance of A Christmas Carol performed by the CHRS Radio Dog Theater and brought to you by the California Historical Radio Society. If you enjoyed this performance, we'd like to once again ask you to consider supporting CHRS by either making a donation or becoming a member. It's easy to do. Just go to chrsradio.com and click on the red donation button. Again, that's chrsradio.com. Thank you very much, and happy holidays.
We hope you've enjoyed this production of A Christmas Carol, and that it has brought a smile to your face during what we can all agree has been a really tough year. This telling of the Charles Dickens classic was adapted for radio and scored by Anthony E. Palermo. It was produced and edited by Steve Cushman and directed by Peter Finch. Ebenezer Scrooge was played by Steve Cushman. Also appearing in this production were Hoyt Smith, Michael Bennett, Miranda Wilson, Rosie Allen, Ben Fong Torres, Elisa Clancy, Elaine Leon, and yours truly, Sam Van Zandt. Sound designed by Dan Healy, and John Hammond played the organ. This has been a very merry production of the California Historical Radio Society and the Radio Dog Players. Happy holidays.